Today's topic, building balanced snacks. We're going to give you 5 tips for snacking for success. I am Sarah Coim. I am one of the nutrition coaches at CrossFit 1836, and with me today will be...
It's me, Javier.
He's super excited to be here, so let's go ahead and get started.
So at 1836 Nutrition, we teach you how to create a balanced meals while learning healthy habits that will last a lifetime. You should feel confident with nutrition and fitness, and it shouldn't be complicated. Nutrition shouldn't be complicated.
Awesome. Yes, exactly. So we try our best to keep it as simple as possible and not overcomplicate anything. So as we dive into today and our topic of, are you snacking for success? So today we're going to talk about the benefits of balanced snacks and give you 5 tips to help you incorporate balanced snacks into your everyday routine that are going to help keep you fueled, which in hopes is going to help you reach those long-term goals that you have. So imagine, this picture cracks me up when I take a look at it. So, let's think, have you ever gotten stuck in, let's say, a work meeting, or you leave your house thinking something's only going to take you 30 minutes and it ends up taking you 3 hours, and then suddenly your stomach starts to send you this SOS message, and that pain hits, and you kind of start hearing those sounds that can sometimes be distracting to you or others, and also can cause discomfort. Or maybe, you've been busy all day and finally dinner time comes around and you're so hungry, you're so starved that you inhale your meal so fast and you definitely overconsume the amount that your body really needs. So then this just becomes a vicious cycle that kind of holds you back from your health and wellness goals. Maybe during quarantine, your pantry was only 5 steps away from your workstation. So you've gotten into the habit of grabbing your favorite bag of chips and just mindlessly snacking on it until it is empty. There's a right time and there's a right way to snack for success. So studies have shown that those who have an eating pattern of 3 meals plus 2 snacks per day have a lower BMI and an easier time losing weight and then keeping that weight off compared to those individuals who don't incorporate snacks. Studies have also found that those who do have snacks are more likely to consume more fiber, as well as more fruits and more veggies. And we all know if we can consume that fiber, that's going to be one aspect that's going to keep us full and help us stay full until that next meal or snack. So today we're going to give you 5 tips for that smart snacking.
So step number 1, balance your snacks. Balancing your snacks means that you kind of put in your carbs, fats, and proteins in it. A lot of the snacks options that you see the convenience store or grocery store or something that you think it's quick or whatever to grab, they're pretty heavy on one or the other. They're not really balanced and don't include all 3 items, macros.
Awesome. Yeah, so when we talk about our snacks, we know that we should have all 3 macronutrients in order to fuel our body properly. Just like your meals, as well as every aspect of life, balance is a must. So your snacks should have carbohydrates, proteins, and fat to keep you fueled and fuller for longer.
And with fat, that's one of the things that macros that people often think, well, if I eat fat, it's going to make me fat, which that's really not the case, right? It's going to keep you feel full longer, and it'll slow down the digestion. So it'll make you last until the next meal.
Yeah, exactly. So that fat's going to help your body break down everything else. It's going to help your body absorb it, which causes you to feel more satisfied or feel fuller for a longer amount of time. So this screen, absolutely love this slide. This slide is actually in your workbook from today. And these are just 5 awesome balanced snack ideas that you can start adding into your plan. So one of the best things you can do for yourself when planning your snacks is to find different ways to use the same ingredients, which you can see at the top with the berries or at the bottom with the chicken of this screen. But you want to work smarter, not harder. So one of my favorite go-to snacks in a pinch with low sodium is that deli meat roll-up with some spinach or any other veggie with it. Another great thing you can see is we've been talking about those protein, carbs, and fats, right? You want all three of those in your snacks with every snack. So taking a look at that first picture with the boiled egg and the berries, so you only see 2 items listed. So this is what we like to call a combo item. So that boiled egg is going to contain your protein and your fat, and then you're just going to mix it with some sort of berries now to balance out that snack. Another example is the third picture you see up there with the beef jerky. So some of your meats you will see could possibly be higher in fat. So with something like a beef jerky, I'm really going to have to take a peek at that nutrition label. Most likely that beef jerky is going to be a little bit higher in fat. So it would be another one of those combo items that you would want to only add a carb to, compared to the bottom section where you can see that chicken, they're pairing it with an avocado as their fat. So chicken's going to be a little less in fat, so you would want to pair it with another fat like that avocado, compared to just the beef jerky. You would only need the carb option. So we always recommend to our nutrition clients, especially if they're on the go and traveling, beef jerky, pork jerky, turkey jerky, anything like that's going to be a great item for you just to grab and have on the go.
You know, it doesn't have to taste bad or anything, right? Some of us have that sweet tooth, and one of the options in there, right, it has the Greek yogurt. You can just throw in some, like if it's a single serve Chobani or something, you can throw in there some dark chocolate chips in there, make it a little bit sweet, and that covers up your fat and your protein, and just have it with a little bit of fruit to make that a balance deal. You know, just don't overthink the snacks, just keep them simple.
Exactly. Chocolate chips, dark chocolate chips are a staple in our household right now. We've kind of just discovered them in the last few months, which we definitely want to have them in moderation, but they definitely can help cure that sweet tooth if you're someone that has it. I think the biggest thing people get into when they're thinking about a healthy lifestyle or a healthy diet is that, you know, you have to stick with the broccoli, the chicken, and, you know, maybe a little rice. And it totally doesn't have to be like that. As long as you're mindful of it, you can definitely incorporate things into your daily routine, like some dark chocolate chips. So talk to us in the chat, just add something. Have you ever planned a balanced snack before? And if you have planned a balanced snack, maybe what's been your favorite snack that you like to go with?
Second tip is keep your snacks portion snack sized. One of the best ways to make sure that a snack size, something is a snack size, is to start reading the nutrition labels on there and looking at what is a serving to make sure it's one size, right? Like one serving size. For most of us, if food is in front of us, we're gonna eat it. No matter what, right? We're not going to think twice about it. We don't want to leave anything on the plate, right? So just start reading those nutritional labels.
Yeah, so portion sizes is key to these snacks, guys. So keep in mind, like, your snack is simply just made to bridge the gap between your bigger meals, right? So, you know, just in between, it's going to be something super small. So portion sizes are important when we talk about our consumption, especially with our snacks. When we're at the grocery store or even when we eat out, it's no secret that portion sizes have increased drastically over the years. According to the CDC, research shows that people who unintentionally consume more calories when they're faced with larger portion sizes. We see this in restaurants above all right now with those portion sizes. But just keep in mind, these snacks should range anywhere from like 150 to maybe 300 calories, okay? We're not looking for 500 calories when it comes to your snacks. So So in grocery stores, we always find maybe some prepackaged items that we think are more convenient, but in reality, their serving sizes are going to be way bigger than what we really need. One thing that I come to mind with when I think of the convenience in a grocery store is it Sargento? Is that how you pronounce that?
Sargento cheese.
Yeah, the Sargento cheese. So they always have those balanced breaks. And anytime I get a new nutrition client, they always want to bring up those Sargentos. And just keep in mind when you're reading nutrition labels, the amount of grams of fat in a snack or in an item should be the smallest number on that nutrition label. So I think often if you would be really surprised if you flipped that nutrition label over, how often the amount of grams of fat in a serving is so much larger than all of the other macronutrients on there. So just be mindful of those portion sizes, as well as just taking a peek in those prepackaged snack items at what the fat content is in there. So to help us better visualize and consume the appropriate portion size snacks, here are some things to keep in mind. Number one, we want you to measure out your servings instead of just eating straight from the bag or from the container. And one example I can show you is, this is my snack for today once we're done today. I don't know if you can see it. Let me figure out my camera here. So it's just a bag of grapes, and it's in a little snack portion size. I know myself, and if I were to just eat straight from the bag of grapes, I could get through half of those grapes pretty easily. So definitely measure out your serving sizes instead of just eating straight from the bag or the containers. Almonds is another example from here. A serving of almonds is not a whole lot of almonds. We're talking about 6 to 9 almonds in a serving size, and that's pretty much like just one handful and drop in the mouth for me. So make sure you're measuring out those serving sizes into containers. Use snack size baggies or one serving container when you're making your own size snack. So use the snack baggies or those really small serving size containers is also a great thing. I have recently kind of shifted my mindset with my child's snacks. I'm trying to save the world, which I don't usually do with my own snacks, but we went on Amazon and got some of the reusable snack size bags. And so that would be a great thing for you to possibly purchase when we're thinking about portioning out those snacks. And then the third tip would be purchase pre-portioned snacks. Single serve snacks portions will help you stay on track rather than overeating. And Javi does this daily with the guacamole, right?
Yeah, Costco has this, I can't remember the name of it now, but it's the Costco brand. It's a single serve little cup of guacamole. It's actually one serving size of it in this little whole container. It's easy just to grab that, put it with the lunch or snack or whatever, and just go. It's super easy.
Yeah. So, and then hummus, you can get hummus in a little individual pre-serving size as well. So that's also another great option just to kind of keep things different. So it looks like we had a few people add in the chat box their favorite snacks. Yogurt with vanilla granola. Yes, that would be a great option as well. The HSN pumpkin protein balls. Those are definitely delicious. They have the protein balls on the HSN website along with Sam's energy balls, which are also another great choice. Yeah, Lexi, I can definitely post those bags in the chat group as well. So definitely step 2, be mindful of those portion sizes.
Tip number 3, make it a family affair. For those with kids, getting the kids involved and preparing the snacks with you is going to help them eat better, and also it's going to make them want to eat it more often than not if you get them involved in there, either with the planning, preparing the food and everything like that, just having it ready definitely will help.
Yeah, and this is so big for me, guys, in my family right now, just getting the kids involved. You know, statistics say that if you're overweight as a child, so at the age of 2, if you're overweight, then you're more likely to be overweight at the age of 30. So, you know, this mindset starts early on, teaching those kiddos, you know, what are good things to eat and what are maybe some things that they need to avoid. So making it a family affair is definitely something I would highly recommend. Snack planning is a great way to get the whole family involved. And I've learned super quickly. My oldest has just started school, and if I let her have a say-so in what her snacks are going to be during the week, like this past week, she just wanted green olives. She had to have green olives in her snacks, and she was more likely to eat those snacks. She was excited about it. So if you get the family involved and let them have an opinion in it, then you're more likely to have a buy-in from your kiddos and actually making those good choices. So you know, getting the family involved also allows you to carve out more family time where you can spend together. Not that we need any extra time since quarantine, but this is a good way for you to spend some one-on-one time with your kids. My kids are 3 and 4. They are experts at picking grapes off of the vine and throwing them into is it a colander? Yeah, so that we can wash them. So my kids are awesome at that. My kids are also really good at putting almond slivers into a baggie. And so again, the screeching of the stool moving up to the counter is probably my husband's least favorite sound, but I just have to remember that the benefits that we get from allowing them to be a part of this are teaching them some habits that can last a lifetime. So it also is going to increase your kids' confidence with the nutrition choices. And nothing makes me happier than when one of my kiddos picks something up and they're like, this is a carb, this is a protein. And I'm like, yes, that's correct. So you're just going to give them more confidence with their nutrition choice, as well as it just increases their overall confidence of being in the kitchen. I often let my youngest, you know, stir something at the stove. Obviously, I'm right next to her and with every part of the way, but even just letting her stir things at the stove, you can just tell that they get excited for the opportunity to be there. And then those of you with older kiddos, getting them in the kitchen, this gives them an opportunity just to apply their math and their measuring skills as they're helping you create these snacks.
For us, I have older kids. Mine are teenagers, one in high school, one in middle school. The best thing for us is not to have those, you know, as many unfavorable snacks out there. If that's all we have in the house, right, it makes it a little bit easier just to, okay, well, those are your options, right? So that it's either that or nothing, right? So it kind of pushes them a little bit more being on the teenage years.
Yeah, and then Dave said if you haven't tried frozen grapes, I highly recommend it. It's one of his kiddos' favorite snacks. I love them. Those are super, super yummy. My husband's in the habit right now of doing frozen bananas he'll always have some extra, servings in the afternoon to have like a little shake or something. So he'll freeze his bananas and add a little protein to it to make some ice cream. So along with those frozen grapes, if you haven't tried frozen bananas as well for a nighttime snack, maybe before you go to bed, that's a great thing as well.
Tip number 4, plan snacks ahead, just like we were talking about earlier. Just take some time on the weekend, either Saturday or Sunday when you grocery shopping, everything, along with your dinner. When you're planning your dinner, your lunches, throw in that, you plan your snacks, right? Just make it all one thing. If you plan your snacks just like your lunches, you have a higher chance of sticking with your healthy options when you just grab and go.
Awesome. I agree with that as well. This is the biggest part, guys. Have you ever heard of the saying, don't let busy become a way of life? Because it is 100% true. Being busy is the #1 habit crusher. So this is why we should always have a plan. I'm not going to lie. Most of the time my plan happens late at night when everyone's already in bed and I have 15 or 20 minutes just to lay it out on paper. And I'm telling you, 15 or 20 minutes is probably the max it ever takes me, but it saves so much time during the week and so many less stressful moments during the week. My husband and I are on the same page. And so just the plan, guys, this is where the magic happens. So planning out your snacks for sure, I would highly recommend. I know for me, I planned out my meals last night. I made my grocery list last night. When I'm done here today at 11:30, I'm going to pick my groceries up. And then I always make it a goal that on Saturdays, I'm going to get all of our snacks and our breakfast prepped on Saturdays. That's my goal. And so that on Sunday, now I'm only really left to think about our dinners and an occasional lunch if needed. So planning is going to be the very important. Make sure when you're planning out your snacks, have some snacks that, yes, you're going to pull from the refrigerator to put together, but also make sure that you have some more convenient snacks that you can just pull from the pantry and kind of have grab and go. And so when I think about that, one of the ones I think about first is this mini Cliff Bar. All right, so this is a big one. This one's got a very balanced, it's got protein, carbs, and fat in it. Keep in mind, this is the peanut butter flavor, and it's the mini Cliff Bar. So when we get away from the peanut butter flavor or also the regular Cliff Bars, it kind of throws off the balance of the protein, carbs, and fat. So if you're into the mini Cliff Bar, the peanut butter brand is definitely where it's at as far as quick items that you can use.
As far as bars go, right? I mean, if you don't like that one or something, or if you get the bigger bar, that like she was saying, also kind of go back to the other slides, right? Look at the label to make sure what the serving size is, if it's half a bar or whatnot, and also the added sugar on those bars, that if you don't happen to pick one of these.
Yeah, and then some other like shelf-stable snacks that you can have for your carbs, things like rice cakes, veggie chips, dried fruits like raisins are a good option. Then some protein examples for you, beef jerky, pork jerky, turkey jerky, those tuna fish pouches, canned chicken, and then obviously your protein powder are all going to be great protein sources that can last some shelf life. And then when it comes to your fat source, things like nut butters, almond butter, peanut butter. If you haven't tried sunflower seed butter, it's amazing. Any sort of nuts, and then anything like chia seeds will also be some very good fat options. Thursday looks like cheat day. Stop it. All right, you got this.
So if you're going out with a family, if you're going to picnic, bike rides, hiking, whatever activity that you might be, or even if you're going to be out in the office for longer than what you anticipated, having something that, like you were saying, something that doesn't have to be refrigerated or kept cold or anything like that, it's going to help you. As long as we're bringing something that doesn't need to refrigerate, like the jerky and everything like that, it's going to help you stay in track. Things like applesauce, you have a little pouch there. That is great to have, that you don't have to keep refrigerated. Just be mindful of the added sugar on some of those things. You can also have the Cliff Bar or RX Bar. Just make sure, again, that it's balanced. So that you see the protein, carbs, and fats. It doesn't have that much added sugar, and look at this serving size. Another option is the jerkies with some fruit, or like I said, just bring a shaker with you with the protein powder, and you throw in some coconut water, and then you basically have a balanced snack right there.
Yeah, I think this is so important, especially if you have kiddos and you're leaving for the day to go on any sort of activity. I know in our area, we've got a few more weeks of this awful heat, and then we're going to get in some much cooler weather, which means we're going to start getting outside, right? So I promise you will not find very many days that the Coymes leave the house without a lunchbox in hand, okay? So as you begin to get outside and start to do these activities for yourself and for your kiddos, it's really important that you're fueling your body before the workout or before the activity, and also after the activity. So, we talked about some good ideas before the activity in that applesauce pouch. A great thing about the applesauce pouch before the activity, guys, is this is a liquid form of a carb. So your body's going to absorb it a whole lot quicker than something that's got more substance and you're going to have to actually break down. So just keep that in mind when you're out going on an activity. We want to have something before that gives us that energy, and also something to fuel our body after when it starts that recovery process. So definitely between 20 and 60 minutes of your activity outside, we're going to want to refuel our body with that protein, carbs, and that fat. Gave some examples about just having a shaker bottle. Okay, your shaker bottle may be already full with some protein powder in it. So this is going to be your protein source. And then maybe you just add some coconut water to it. That's going to give you that carb source. So that's also just some really quick options. But the main thing is, guys, as you're getting outside and you're getting active, don't leave home without some sort of snack source that you could have maybe before and after, so you're keeping that body fueled, so we don't run into that topic we talked about at the very beginning, where when you get home, you're just, eating everything in sight because your body's so hungry. Oops.
Tip number 5, snack mindfully, not mindlessly. We want to snack mindfully. That means being aware of what and why you're eating. Listen to your body's hunger cues and set aside time to enjoy your snacks without the distraction.
Yeah, for sure. We want you to be mindful and plan it out, okay? It's super tough when you're working from home because it's so easy to just walk into the kitchen and just grab something. So we always recommend to our clients, when we're talking about this mindfulness, like set alarms on your phone so you're intentional with your eating. You're only eating when those alarms go off. And so, what does this mean? By practicing mindfulness during meals and snack times, we're less likely to overconsume foods, and we're more likely to choose those better options. So when we get into that, boredom, set an alarm. And so you're only eating when that alarm goes off, or I'm really hungry, I'm going into the kitchen. Hey, let me, unload the dishwasher. And after I unload the dishwasher, if I'm still feeling hungry and it's not in my snack time, then I'll reevaluate the situation. And then another thing when it comes to being mindfulness is making sure we're getting in our enough water throughout the day. So oftentimes people mistake hunger cues for just really being thirsty. So make sure in this hot Texas heat, not only are you fueling yourself with food, but you're giving yourself enough water also to keep yourself hydrated.
Free help. We like giving free information. So if you have any questions or anything, go ahead and ask me in the chat. Dave, does these girls like making apple nachos, slice an apple, drizzle with almond butter and honey, and sprinkle with cinnamon? That sounds delicious.
Yes. Great job, Dave. I'm loving this. When you're saying you're sprinkling that apple, that drizzle with the almond butter, makes me think of way back in the day. We used to sprinkle, Matt, if my husband's on here, he can help me. I feel like we sprinkled coconut oil on top of fruit. Coconut butter? Yes, on top of like strawberries. Man, we need to bring that back. It was super amazing. But yes, free help. We definitely want to answer any questions you may have. You can also join our Facebook group, Stay Fit Kingwood, giving some free tips and some free recipes as well on that site if you are in need of more information there. So just to recap about today, we gave you 5 tips for smart snacking. Tip number 1, we want you to balance your snacks. So each time if you're making your grocery list today, go ahead and do a mental checklist of your snacks and make sure they're balanced with carbs, fat, and protein.
Number 2 was snack size portions. Invest in ways to make portion sizes easier to manage, like talking about the little individual snack size Ziploc bags or something, just to make it easy grab and go.
Awesome. And then tip number 3, make it a family affair. Get your kids involved in the planning and the prepping when it comes to making those balanced snacks. They might actually surprise you with the ideas they come up with, like Dave Peck's kiddos making some great apple nachos.
Number 4 was plan snacks ahead. If we're not making a plan, we're not going to be successful on this.
Awesome. Yes, it does take some time to plan. And then tip number 5, practice mindfulness. Use food as fuel. Let me say that again. Use food as fuel. So be mindful and not just walking into the kitchen to grab anything that you see in sight. I know when I am not thinking of food as fuel, and I walk into that kitchen, the first thing I'm going to grab are goldfish, and I'm going to grab more than just a handful. So if I'm mindful with it and my snacks are prepped to where I know I can at least go in and grab that, it definitely helps. It definitely helps me out in the long run with my long-term goals. So it's the weekend. Hopefully you guys are thinking about meal planning and you're headed to the grocery store. I know, like I said earlier, I'm headed there as soon as I get done. And I'll get my snacks and my breakfast prepped today. So tomorrow I'm only left with prepping my dinner. So do the same, get that grocery list going.
Use the workbook that we just have made available for you guys. Just fill it out, take it with you to the grocery store, bring the kids, whatever. Just use it.
Yes, the workbook was in the chat group at the very top, but if you need it, just stay on here with us extra time and we can get that workbook to you. So we hope that this helps you become the snacking pro that you're meant to be in your health and wellness journey. Thank you so much for listening to us today, and we hope you have a great weekend.